Hi everyone, my name is Musam Selegu, owaziwa lapha kuThando Nesithembu. Basically today I want to talk about abuse and absent fathers. I have a feeling yokuthi there is a certain portion that we are not looking at as men, especially laba abuse their children, their partners, their family members. Asiqale ngokuthi most people will say I've learned abuse from my family. Maybe my father was abusing my mother, was abusing us as children, and so on and so on. But what fascinates me in this narrative is why people, they only take the negative part of that and run with it in their life, because it will tell me a different story. If you grew up being abused by your father, or if you grew up witnessing abuse of your mother being abused by your father, it should then immediately say to you, you understand the pain of being abused. You understand the struggle of a father that is absent. You understand the struggle of you trying to make means end. And that on its own should make you a better person. Why are you not able as a man to take positive things out of that? Because I don't believe that if you are being abused, the only thing that you will know is abuse. I think being abused, being in a very toxic, abusive environment actually should prepare you to be a better person in a way. Yes, I don't want to run away from the fact that some people might, because of being abused, become abusers themselves. But I think we're having many of those. Why, if your father has been absent in your life, then you don't say, I know what it means not to have a father. To have a father ophilayo, but that father is not in my life. So why don't you become a better person to say, because of that experience, I will never be absent in the lives of my children. I will never be an abusive grown-up man, because you understand the pain, you understand what abuse can cause. I'm saying this as a message to say to those who are experiencing a terrible situation of being abused, why they are not taking something, or they are making a terrible situation to a positive situation, in the sense that you will say, I will never abuse a person in my life. I will never abuse my wife, because I know ukuthi abuse into embi ebuhlungu ebhedayo. Why we only say, no, the reason why I'm abusing my partner is because the only thing that I know is abuse. I'm posing this question so sharply because we have engaged and listened to many men who are continuing doing abuse to their spouses, to their children, to their loved ones, to people outside or who are very close to them. Because then they will immediately go behind this shield to say, ubaba wami abuser my mother. So if learning abuse because of that experience, why are we then not unlearning abuse because of that experience? Why is not that experience making us better people to say, I will never be absent? If ubaba wakho bengaprovide, provide, why are you not then willing to provide? In fact, some men are even willing to fight to have a second wife, a third wife, a fourth wife, a fifth wife. They have guts to say, I want to have a second wife, but they don't have guts to fight for their own children who are born out of wedlock. If you was ukuthi ungalwela ukuthi you want to have a second wife, Obviously, we have so much courage, you have so much strength, you have so much zeal within yourself to push that. So, yini eyenza ungakwazi ukulwela your own blood, your own flesh? Abantu bale ekhaya, abantu okuyibona bale ekhaya, awukwazi ukubalwela and awukwazi ukubaraise. I think it's very funny ukuthi unamadoda anamandla. Unfortunately, it's a very sad reality ukuthi we cannot fight for the people esiyobafica ngale. Because I'm saying this ukuthi abantu abazenzakaleli, they don't just appear for the sake ukuthi bavela, because abantu bayalala umuntu angenzeki. So it means if abantu belalile kwenzeka umuntu, then there's a bigger reason why a person has been created or formed in that way. So I'm saying kumadoda, I once attended a seminar which was very powerful, called A Father, a Stranger. A father, a stranger, because you will have a father, but this father has never been in your life. And I've recently attended a funeral where a young man spoke and said, nami ngikhona lana sizongcwaba le ndoda, but I never had any interaction naye, angimazi, bengisathi ngisazomazi ubaba wami. And people were singing praises about this man. I think that is a sad reality ukuthi your friends, your other family members bancome as this great man, as this great hero, but your own flesh and blood ayikwazi ukusho the same thing. I think it's where we are having a serious problem. So I am therefore saying that on its own is an abuse, because if you decide to neglect your own children, if you decide to neglect your own responsibilities, that is an abuse on its own. But this is triggered by the fact that most of the interactions and questions that I'm getting a lot from different people, and most men that I come across, they will say, I am an abuser because I grew up seeing my father abusing my mother. And the question is, why are we then not having you learning something positive out of that experience? Why are we only concentrating in the negative side, where we even feel that we can say something to say, no, because he was abusive to my mother, and that is the only thing. I'm saying, let us use that situation. Let us use that situation, which is so bad, to actually change you as a person. In fact, it should encourage you ukuthi wena ngeke ube abusive. And it's good to have a good father. In fact, if you are a girl child and you have a good father, he's not only a good father, but he's also a good husband to your mother. So then this becomes a challenge for you, because what happens is that you have a role model, which is a good father, and then you will have a role model, which is your father, who's the husband to your mother. So it means if you have a girl of that nature, she might be struggling to find a good husband, because she has seen what to be a good husband from her father, who has been a good father. So I'm simply saying, if we can model, and the same thing applies to a good man or a young boy, where a young boy will have a good father who happens to be a good husband to his mother. So it means this boy can also see and reflect what is to be a good husband to his wife, because he has seen this. I'm saying we have people who are fortunate to be growing up in that environment, and we have people who are less fortunate. But to those who are less fortunate, I'm challenging them to say, as much as we understand that the environment plays a huge role in shaping, in growing up, or in building a character of an individual. But why are we not concentrating in taking the good out of the bad? Because for me, it will help me, to be a better man if I have grew up in a situation where my father has been absent, not to be absent to my children. If I have grew up in a situation where my father has been abusive to my mother, it will also help me to shape me to be a better person, because I know the pain of being abused, and I know what a monster my father has been because of abusing my mother. Because abuse is not only limited to my mother, it also extends to us as children of this particular man. So I'm saying to you, man, and I'm challenging you, let us then become better people because of the abuse that we've experienced. I thank you.